Welcome back, all our 40k fanatics out there. I'm DJ.
And I'm Lane.
We are here with Tim's Nation to bring you yet another Warhammer 40k battle report. Having a rough time with the Necrons, I decided to change it up a little bit, and today I'm bringing the World Eaters. As I said, blood for the blood god, skull for the skull throne, kill, maim, and burn.
It's going to be hard to get the skulls from my army because they're under a whole lot of armor.
But much like my strat says, they will be worthy skulls indeed, as I will be running into the Adeptus Custodes today. So the Golden Boys meet the bloodied, battered, and bruised, but we are bringing the Demonkin. This is one of my favorite detachments from it. I know some people, some World Eater players are not a big fan of it because they say, well, if I want to play demons, I'll play demons. And this is 1,000 points of demons that you can take up to. But I like the strats with this army. There's a lot of very interesting finesse that you can do with this, especially the Bloodletter strat. Very strong, very powerful, and just some other cool abilities. And you get to also bring big boy, the big red machine, Skarbrand. He's a monster, literally and figuratively speaking, and can really wreck some stuff, especially going into, what are the Custodes that you're bringing today?
We're doing the Solar Spearhead today. So this is the vehicle-based attachment. I ran this a couple months ago. Mostly because, just like with my Death Guard, I could also drive a Land Raider through a wall and then disembark guys and charge them. So I'm doing that here, too. I had so much fun last time I played it, I went out and got another Land Raider and painted it gold. So we actually have a golden Land Raider for my Custodes now.
All right, well, we're hearing a little bits and pieces about this. Let's take a look at the armies and what we're bringing today. Lane, start us off. Show us the Custodes that we're going to be facing here today.
If you want to know more about the detachments, the data sheets, the stratagems, the enhancements, and how we plan to use everything, please check out our separate army list videos where we go into great detail. But for now, here is a quick rundown. I've got exactly 2,000 points of Custodes and some friends in the Solar Spearhead detachment. For characters, we do have a Blade Champion. He has the Adamantian Talisman. And then we have 2 Dreadnoughts that we've turned into characters, a Contemptor Achilles and a Contemptor Galatis. For Battle Line, we do have 2 squads of 2 4-man squads of Custodian Guard. We do have 2 of the Gladiators Grav Tanks. Both of these have the Arachnus Heavy Blaze Cannons. I know the both turrets are not the same, but they're both being run as the Arachnus Heavy Blaze Cannons. We do have a Venerable Contemptor Dreadnought. We do have a Venerable Land Raider. We have 2 4-man Sisters Silent Squads, the Witch Seekers. So we've got some of our other lady friends in here as well. Now we've got some allies from the Imperial Agents Codex. We do have a Calidus Assassin. We do have Inquisitor Draxus, who is really good with Custodian Guard. And finally, Deathwatch fans, we are running the the Aquila Kill Team. For some reason, the Decimus Kill Team was called the Aquila Kill Team when you ally them in with Imperial Agents. We're running a 5-man because we had 100 points left over. Let's continue to give them a workout. DJ, what are you bringing today?
All right, here is my Khorne Demonkin. So this army, we'll start off with the World Eater units. So we do have a 10-man squad of Khorne Berserkers led by a Master of Executions. We have 2 3-man squads, one of the Exalted 8-bound and one of the Standard 8-bound. We have a Slaughterbound to lead one of them. 2 of the Forge Fiends. Now, and a 10-man squad of Jackals. They're there too. Now, over into the Demons, we have 2 5-mans of the Fleshhounds, 2 10-mans of the Bloodletters, and of course, I guess it's kind of a mixture of both. We have the Juggernauts of Khorne, led by a Khorne Lord on Juggernaut because of the enhancement that he's given. And then last, surely not least, the big red machine, as I keep calling him, Skarbrand. And I'll put a picture up there real quick, because you see in my picture, he looks just really red. But I actually, the night after I recorded my army video, I got a lot of work done on him. So give me a second here. I'm getting progress. Take a look at this. Look at it. Look at it. We got him. He's working. He's coming along.
Praise him in the comments, please, so he continues to paint his army.
Please. So yeah, so I actually get things done. I did make a change. If you guys followed over in my army video as opposed to what I'm doing now, I did finally settle on changing the enhancement from my Slaughterbound over to the Master of Execution. And that's the +1 strength, +1 attack, and +1 damage. For 30 points, you get more off the Master of Execution. It's the only real way I have to gain CP since I'm not running a Demon Prince today. I don't have any way to reduce it. So with him, now it gives him the flat 3 damage, and he still has precision, the 6th attack. But now the big one is that it takes that strength 7 up to strength 8. This matchup doesn't matter as much because you got a lot of T5 out there. There are some T4 characters.
We're Custodes, or T6.
A T6, okay, so I'm sorry, my bad, T6. But you do have some characters that do have that toughness 4, and there are a lot of characters that do have toughness 4. So being able to go into that strength 8 column seemed a lot better than strength 11, which I don't really see. Sure, there's some armor 10 or toughness 10 vehicles out there, but it feels like just to be able to get that CP regen, that's the better place to go with it. So I did make that shift over for it, and yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Lane, your side?
We're going to take a Land Raider and drive it through a wall, and guys are going to get out and punch stuff. That's the big plan. We're going to do that.
That's
Obviously, we're continuing to give the Aquila kill team a little workout. I don't know why. They have 2 different names. But finally got the paint done on them, and so we're going to have a few of those guys. It's only a 5-man, so maybe they'll do a little bit of cleanup, and we'll see if they can do some work with their mixture of shooting and fighting. Other than that, I just hope my vehicles get damaged a little bit, so they'll be re-rolling 1s to hit.
I hope that I remember that Draxus is the only thing in your army that does have psychic damage. So if Draxus does psychic damage to my Fleshhounds, I have a 3-up feel no pain versus psychic attacks.
Okay, I'll make sure not to target them with Draxus.
Right. It's just a cute little thing. It's like, huh, okay, that's obnoxious. A 3-up feel no pain on them.
Do you have any psychic attacks? Because I have Sisters of Silence.
I have 0. I'm Khorne, man.
Yeah,
Khorne. We hate psychics.
I don't know. You got a bunch of demons in there.
I mean, I still like the fact of Scarbrand's whole lore, throwing it out there real quick. Literally, Zench got in his head because he stayed out in the warp too long. So he thought it was a good idea to go and attack Khorne, swung his axe, and barely even grazed his armor. So then Khorne drags him across the hot coals for days, then screamed at him for days, so much so that it melted the flesh off his body. And that's why he's all beat up and he can never regenerate, because Khorne just screamed at him. That is crazy.
I guess he's like working in customer service or something. He's getting screamed at a lot.
Yeah, wow. Now that you put it that way. Odd or even?
Even.
Giving me some PTS over here, man. It is even. So do you wish to deploy? Okay, so I have no infiltrators, but I do have scouts.
Okay, I'll have you drop first.
All right, we'll be back after deployment. All right, we are deployed. Lane, what are we doing here today?
We are playing the glorious game of Warhammer 40,000. Today's deployment is Sweeping Engagement. It's Tetris Dawn of War, and our primary mission is Linchpin. You get 3 points for each objective you control. However, if you control your deployment zone, you get an extra 2 for each one that's outside your deployment zone. So each one outside your deployment zone is 5 if you're controlling your deployment zone.
Can we just call it Tetris of War or Dawn of Tetris?
Sure, whatever you like.
Whichever one. All right, so deployment. Now, I already said to Lane, I'm not very confident with my deployment as a setup here. Let me know in the comments. So I have Scarbrand in Deep Strike. I was debating with him, putting him on board, like right over here where this Forge Fiend is, or putting him in Deep Strike, and I have the Bloodletters in Deep Strike. I did deploy Exalted 8-bound down over here. This big open pocket here kind of scares me, but there is a bit of terrain that Lane and the other vehicles that he's running are going to have to deal with trying to get line of sight on. He can go through walls for a command point, and it has advance and shoot strat, but I'm hoping that this can buy me enough time and be obnoxious enough to help some of my units. 8-bound do have a scout move, and then we did put one of our Forge friends right here. Other one, like I said, is back on the objective. Jackals are touching this objective so they can make it sticky and then go away. We got Fleshhounds here just to block in case Lane wanted to try to go for that first turn charge. Obviously, he didn't deploy that way, but we were set up and ready to go. And then Berserker's up there as well, too. Juggernaut's here to go around and try and take this objective over there. And then another squad of Fleshhounds I had absolutely no idea what to do with in this matchup, so they're just going to sit back there where I can pick them up and do stuff later on. So, yeah, that's it for me. Lane, what are you doing?
I did put the Achilles Dreadnought into reserve, hopefully to rapid ingress him at a good time in the game, although I've been forgetting to do my rapid ingresses lately, so hopefully I remember. On the table here, we do have the Venerable Contemptor. We've got our 2 Caladius. We've got our Deathwatch Aquila kill team. Some Witch Seekers ready to scout out. We do have the Calidus Assassin ready to go out and do things as well. Hiding here, safe inside the terrain, we have Kyria Draxus with 4 Custodian Guard. Of course, the Gladys Dreadnought ready to strap out. The Land Raider, full of Custodian Guard and a Blade Champion. And then finally, a couple of Sisters here as well. Some more Witch Seekers to do a little scouting.
You guys don't see it, but every time Lane says Aquila for the kill team, he shakes his head.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a fantastic reason why the Decimus is called the Aquila in Imperial Agents. GW is just never going to reveal that reason to us.
Listen, at least it doesn't begin with the letter I like every other Marine unit does. All right, let's see who is going to go first. It's going to be the Custodes. All right, so we do have a couple scout moves. I'm going to move forward a little bit, and then Lane, you can just... we'll tie these into our first turn. So there's not a whole bunch, not a huge bunch of tactics with them. For me, I'm just going to kind of stay hidden. And Lane's probably going to be getting more into position, take objective, and that's going to be it. All right, it's time to play the game.
For my turn, I pulled Extend, Battle Lines, and Sabotage. So we moved some girls up here. First of all, Kyria Draxis failed her roll to make them lone op outside of 18. Luckily, we only took one mortal wound on the unit, but that's a bummer, starting off with a bad roll here. And then the girls moved forward here. Witchseekers got on the objective. The Gladys is ready to back them up. We have the Land Raider just poking his little nose out here so he can take shots at the Forge Fiend. And then the Gladiators, I did spend the CP to advance and shoot with him. So he did have to advance in order to get around and see Forge Fiend. So there we go. Girls moved up here to get on the objective. Quilla Kill Team moved up here. And then the Venerable Contemptor Dreadnought is sabotaging because he's just outside my deployment zone. That's it. So we'll do a little bit of shooting, see what happens. Big guns go shoot and make the Forge Fiend go away. Land Raider only got one last cannon through and only did 3 damage, but the Clades got 2. It's D6 plus 2 damage shots through. Was able to finish him off. That's it for my turn. 4 points for Extend. Sabotage has commenced with the Venerable Contemptor. On to DJ's turn.
For my turn, I'm looking at behind enemy lines and recover assets. So typically there's a one, behind enemy lines I can shuffle back in, but because I have Flesh Hounds, we're going to go for it. So we're going to go for it is pretty much the definition of this turn. We'll see how this works out. I'm not too confident about it, but you know what? We're playing World Eaters. We need to charge things. So over here, we just kind of move this whole flank around. We're looking at a 9-inch charge because of the instrument into the Dreadnought if we land it. And then we brought the Flesh Hounds down here. They're going to recover assets, and this one back here in the corner is going to be there for the behind enemy lines. Jackals advanced up after sticking my home field objective, and Khorne Berserkers moved into this building to be ready to pounce out on the middle objective later in the game. The remaining Forge Fiend moved out to try to shoot off these Witch Seekers, just get rid of them. And then, big value here, the Exalted are going to charge into the Witch Seekers and take them out. Pretty confident with that one. And then we're going to charge the tank, not take that one out. Pretty confident with that one. But hopefully we're going to... My goal is present threats that Lane really can't ignore and try to buy me a little bit of time. So that's going to be it. Let's do some shooting, and then we'll do some fighting. All right, so we did make one little minor change because I looked at something, and I was like, oh, wait, I can do that. Again, playing Demonkin again for, it's been a while. So I brought these Flesh Hounds to recover assets over here because that actually did put them within 6 inches of those guys, those bros, to be able to give them the blood, to use the strat to give these guys Lance, to try to hit this tank a little harder. Did pretty decent. We were able to get it down to 4 wounds, so it was better than I was expecting. And then over here, hell, wow, yeah, Sisters of Silence got absolutely eaten. Yeah, that was a thing. So did not use the boosted damage on the Slaughterbound yet, but we got a lot over there to answer us back. Now, in the shooting phase, the Forge Fiend did shoot and pick up the Sisters of Silence over there. So we got them off the objective, and we did fail our charge with the Juggernaut with the Blood Crushers going into the Dreadnought. So decent turn for scoring, a pretty good turn on secondary because we got 8 points, and we do push Lane off of all primary except for his home field, so that's a positive. And yeah, that's going to be it for the turn. Over to Lane and the Custodes.
For my turn, I pulled Secure No Man's Land and Marked for Death. For Marked for Death, DJ chose what? The Berserks, these guys,
Blood Crushers,
and then these guys.
I picked the Jackals because I know that there's really not any good target that I can pick that Lane just cannot hit.
Yeah, he didn't have a good third choice.
But I figure at least if he's going into the Jackals and he has to put things into them to score points, then that's other things that are not getting shot at. So go Jackals.
I chose these guys as my gamma. Got to make sure they go away. I did roll an advance on the Land Raider. I had 2 CP. If I had rolled a 3, I would have been able to advance to the other side of this wall and spent the 2 CP, one on the advance and shoot, one to go through the walls, and then shot at him. As it is, this Gladius is the only one that's going to be able to shoot at him because I didn't roll high enough on my advance, but the Land Raider is still able to get over here. So you can shoot these guys, team up with the Gladys and make sure these guys die. So I did spend the 1 CP on the advance and shoot for the Land Raider. I don't want to leave even the character alive here on chance because he can do a lot of work by himself. So that's about it.
Now, I am on the blessing for fight on death, so hopefully that'll help.
The Aquila kill team stepped up here so they can put some shots into the Jackals. He can put his little shots into the Jackals. The Dreadnought can charge in and try to finish off the Jackals. I put some shots in here, and at the end of my movement, though, DJ did rapid ingress.
The big red machine.
And he wants to take over this side of the board, so we'll see if we can make that a little bit of a challenge for him. So let's do some shooting. So I shot the Land Raider at the 8-pound. No damage. I only got 2 wounds of the last cannons, and DJ made both the 5-up pinballs. Heavy bolters, nothing got through. Did a couple of wounds to the twin link flamer from this guy, so not a whole lot there. So that's kind of bad news there. Over here, we shot down, only got 1 through onto the Forge Fiend, so he is at
8 wounds.
8 wounds. Took 4 damage. Over here, the Aquila shot their shots, picked up a couple Jackals. The big shots here picked up 2 of the Blood Crushers, and then he fired his multi-melter here, did nothing but put a couple of shots onto these guys with the combi bolter. So we still have 6 of the Jackals left. I do have 1 CP, so I'm probably going to charge and tank shock there. I think I only have 5 attacks, so I need to kill a few guys on the tank shock. So, yeah, mark a tank shock over here. I don't know. We'll see. I'll make a decision here in a second. Let's go fight. Fight phase didn't go much better than the shooting. I charged in here with the Galatus and tank shocked to pick up one of the guys. DJ's got fight on death going on right now, so by finishing off one of the guys with a tank shot, he would not be able to fight on death because it was a charge phase. Galatus swung, didn't do that great, but did pick up the rest of the squad. This character can bring a guy back to the squad if I hadn't finished it, so at least he did that. He, of course, punched me, and they fought on death some and took the Galatus down to 2 wounds, even with his negative wound in combat. Over here, the Custodian Guard pretty easily finished off this. The Blade Champion actually did it by himself. He finished off those 8-bound there. 2 of them fought on death, and they finished off the Caladius tank because they were in engagement range with him, so DJ chose to fight in the Caladius. And the Caladius exploded when it died, did 3 wounds to the Calidus and 3 wounds to these guys. I do have the Vixilla with the storm with the shield there, so he is down to 1 wound. And then over here, I chose to charge the Dreadnought into these guys just because I know I wasn't going to kill the Jackals. He only got 1 punch through. He just did 3 damage to one of these guys. So not super exciting there. So overall, I mean, we killed a couple units, but it would have been nicer if a few more things went a little bit more our way, but they didn't. So that's it. That's it for my turn. We did score Secure No Man's Land, and we got the Gamma target for Marked for Death.
For this turn, we're looking at Overwhelming Force, and what was the other one doing? Oh, Bring It Down. So try and destroy a vehicle. So you got this guy down here over at 2 wounds. We're still on Fight on Death, so if he pops our Slaughterbound over here, we do have a chance to fight on death and take him with us. Then over here, we for Overwhelming Force, we moved up and we took this objective because we out OC right now that Calidus. But we wanted to go away, so we did move the Forge Friend up. Hopefully he can take the last wound away from the Calidus. And then we just drew kind of a line to slow these guys down from being able to crush the Forge Fiend, because if they touch him, he will go boom. Oh, let's see. So we spent our command point. We haven't been able to hold a command point very long. And the command point we spent was on this squad here to resurrect 1 beast model. And we put it back, which then meant we were able to out-OC this guy. And we took this for some primary points. Then we stickied it with the Jackals. Finally, we move Scarbrand out. We're going to flamer the Marines and then charge the tank. We'll see how this all goes. All right, so shooting phase, not too bad, especially considering I'm playing World Eaters. Forge Fiend was able to successfully pick up the Custodes, and then the little flamer on the leader finished off that Vexil that had 1 wound left. Yay, go doggos. Then Mr. Scarbrand burned a bunch of Marines, so now there's only 1.5 Marine left. Granted, Lane did help me a bit when the tank blew up from Scarbrand's attack. It blew up, and Scarbrand took 3 damage himself, so he's down to 17. Also, in combat, Lane went over here first and picked up my Slaughterbound. He did fight on death, but was not able to punch through since he's always -1 to wound. I could not quite get the hits on him. And then over here, when we fought, we did destroy the Dreadnought 1 time. Lane rolled, it stood back up, so it came back with 6 wounds too. So big chunky buddy. Big chunky butt over there. And that's going to be it. So we had Storm Hostile. We got it in the middle. And we did, bring it down for a big enemy vehicle. So solid 8 points. And we'll send it over to Lane and the Custodes.
Defend Stronghold and Assassination. Assassination is a tough one this turn because my best assassination attempt is going to be this guy right here. My mere 17 wounds left on him. With my Gladiators tanks dead, that means we're going to have to get lucky with some things. So Ven Contemptor is going to be within 9 from multi-melta range. These guys stood still, so they can just shoot at him. Didn't want to get Overwatch. Dreadnoughts, the Achilles stepped up here. He does get Lance. He gets +1 to, he gets Impact Mortals, that sort of thing. Kyria and her crew stepped out here, so maybe they can do some shooting into Scarby. These guys advanced. Once per game, they can advance and charge with the Blade Champion. Let some reroll charges, so we're going to try and go take care of the Forge Fiend. This guy failed his Battle Shock, so I only had 3 on primary. Another low primary turn for me. We're going to have to make up a lot of it here. And then the Land Raider stepped up onto this objective. So I think the Land Raider can hold this objective. So that's that. Let's do some shooting. So we just put a lot of shooting at Scarbrand. So these guys shot. They did pop their twice per game shooting. He shot. They shot. He shot. Put everything into him, except I did put the combi bolter into these guys and picked up the one of the blood crushers that had the 1 wound left. And we whittled Scarbrand down to 6 wounds left. So going to see if we can make a charge in here. And I got a CP, so if I need to reroll the charge, I can. I get +1 to charges. But if I don't need the CP, then I'll tank shotgun and make sure he's dead. Other than that, we shot away these dogs in the middle. DJ spent a CP to bring in the blood letters. Yes, blood letters. Blood something or others. Land Raider did shoot away the dogs, though. So that's it. I'll do a little charging. Okay, so we don't really see anything here, right, guys? Because I charged in the Achilles, did some mortal wounds. I charged in the Venerable Contemptor. The Achilles easily killed Scarbrand because he was strength 12 and Lance. Scarbrand fought on death and split his attacks and killed both those Dreadnoughts. So awesome.
Because Scarbrand doesn't depreciate. Instead, he gets +2 attacks.
Yeah, he gets better. So that was pretty ridiculous. So other than that, these guys charge in and finish up a Forge Fiend. Fun. Yeah, that's it. So DJ does have 8 OC on this objective. I've got 6. So it's his. So nothing we can do about that. On to his turn.
All right, for the World Eaters, we are looking at Tempting Target and Overwhelming Force. So if you couldn't guess it, this is the target Lane tempt me with. Don't really see myself getting there. Now, I did have to bring the Bloodletters in, and I could have brought the Bloodletters in and tried to charge the Land Raider to get the Tempting Target, but instead, I'd rather try to make the charge onto Lane's home field objective marker, because that'll shut down a lot of primary points. And I could use that CP elsewhere, since I really don't have a lot of CP this game. So we're going to go ahead and try that, I think. As far as everything else is concerned, we moved up the Blood Crushers. They're going to just finish off the kill team. And then we finally moved out the Berserkers that were in the wall. And they're going to charge these guard and hopefully make them go away. We got a command point to give these guys Lance when they charge. so we'll make up for that strength 4 with that. Yeah, and as far as our blood tithe is concerned, we did go into the the feel no pain, because I knew that we were going to be getting hit with some mortal wounds with Scarbrand and Draxus. It was probably the right call because we lived with a couple wounds left, like 6 initially, and then the charge, and we were able to make it all the way to the fight phase to gloriously fight on death and pick up both dreadnoughts. So yeah, we got very, 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 very little shooting, and then we're going to charge. So shooting phase, we shot and did absolutely nothing with the bolt pistols and plasma. Oh darn! Then we charged in with the Berserkers, and we charged the Bloodletters in. Big mosh pit. We spent a command point to give the Berserkers Lance, which was really, really big for the Master of Executions. Since I gave him that enhancement, he gets reroll hits and wounds into a character unit, and he's flat 3 damage, and he's strength 8 because of the +1. So he's hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s with sustained, and he got 2 dev wounds, and he was precision and killed the character and cleared the squad, leaving 1 guy, and the Berserkers finished off the last dude wholeheartedly. So
now I did spend 1 CP to fight on death, and the strat is fight on death on a 4-up. So I had 4 guys there. I rolled 0 4-ups.
Yep. So my Berserker's still standing. We gained a command point from killing that character unit, and we did get 2 blood tithe points out of the turn because we did charge over here and smash the Quillis. So that is it for the turn. We did score Overwhelming Force. We pitched Tempting Target because I don't really want to progress to that side of the board right now. I do have the Bloodletters over there, but that's about it. I won't gain a CP because I already gained 1 this turn, but I just don't feel like dealing with Tempting Target. So that's it. Over to the Custodes.
For my turn, I got Tempting Target and Display of Might. So it's going to be a real tough turn for me. DJ, talk about what happened at the start of the battle round.
All right. So at the beginning of any command phase, I can do the Blood Tithe, as well as the fact I got to do my Blessings. So Blessings-wise, I stuck with the Fight on Death and Sustained Hits. Been working out well. I feel like I'm going to still use that. Blood Tithe-wise, I've already procced the 5-up Feel No Pain, and I'm now going to add the 4-up Invuln to it. After killing a couple units, I got enough Blood Tithe for that. So that's me. Back to you, Lane.
All right. So the Land Raider scooched over here. He's going to try to shoot a couple of these guys away, charge into them, and retake my home field objective, because these guys are going to shoot in the middle here and then charge in there and try to finish off some units. The Gladiators is coming out here to play as well and trying to execute some of these guys. So, yeah, we're going to do a little shoot and see what happens. The mighty Land Raider shot everything it had at the Bloodletters and killed 1. These guys shot at the Berserks, killed like 2, I don't know, and then picked up another 2 with a Flamer here.
Yeah, there's 6 left.
6, yeah. So
I know, a lot of red.
Damage isn't doing a whole lot of damage. Not doing the damage we need to. So we're going to do some charges and see how things go. Dice have not been in my favor this game. However, the Gladius decided he was saving all the dice for himself. He charged into the Berserks. 6 guys left plus the character. And rerolling 1s to hit, rerolling 1s to wound because he's down to 2 wounds. And he did get a couple sustained. And DJ decided not to make any saves. So he wrecked the entire squad of Berserks and the characters by himself. Curious squad here charged in and wrecked all the Bloodletters except for 1 little guy, 1 little Bloodletter left. So over here, the Land Raider charged in, did tank shock, picked up 3 guys on the tank shock. And then even though he has 6 attacks, the Martial Custodes, strength 8, he did 0 damage. Didn't get a single hit because he's hit on 4s. So the Bloodletter scraped a couple wounds off of him. So he's down to 14. So that's that for my turn. Didn't score anything. Going to pitch both secondaries, get a command point, and go on to DJ.
For the World Eaters, we're looking at Display of Might and Area Denial. So we're going right at the middle. Spend a command point to resurrect 1 Bloodletter. So we brought our Blood Crusher, brought that back. And we're going to try and charge in, do some impact damage to these guys and see if we can't hurt them. Then we moved out our Jackals. Jackals are going to try and be the heroes of the day, and they're going to throw a grenade at this. I get grenades. I never get grenades with Necrons. Today I get grenades, and I did check to make sure Jackals do, in fact, have grenade keywords, so we're good there. Pick the dogs up at the end of Lane's turn. With Display of Might, we want to keep them in the center, but we also want to take this objective away. And then we tried to steal Lane's home field objective. Unfortunately, he did Overwatch and was able to pick up just 2 of the bloodletters, so we will not be able to take the objective. But now he's got to make a decision. Either he finishes off the bloodletters to hold his home, or he tries to scoot over here and go after the flesh hounds. Either way, I'm okay with it. Oh, and then the last bloodletter, he passed his battle shock and then rolled a 6 on his advance. So he is trucking out of there, man. So that's it. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of shooting, which involves literally a strat and then some fighting. Well, we choked on our impact damage, but we didn't do too bad in combat.
You did 4 wounds on the impact damage.
Yeah, off of a possible D3 per 4 up. So we only got 2 4-ups, and then we did 4 mortals. So hoping for a little more, but we did do pretty good in the combat. Actually, the mounts did pretty good in the combat. It's always the story with these guys. The mounts do the damage. So we got 1 Custodian guard left with a single wound, and Draxus. And we don't get the area denial, though. They cracked back, and we're able to pick up 1 of my blood crushers, and this one's down to, got 2 wounds remaining. And that's going to be it for the turn. Oh, and when we shot, brave old jackals hit their grenades and picked up the dreadnought. Yay! So we got Display of Might, because we do have 3 units to Lane's 1 in No Man's Land, with the dogs over there, blood crushers, jackals, good. But we didn't get area denial. I am going to keep area denial and not pitch it for a command point, because I feel like once I take out the last of the Custodian guards, Draxus is just going to crumble, and that's going to be our plan. So back over to the Custodes.
Okay, for my last turn, I had Cleanse and Storm Hostile Objective. Not going to end up doing either of those. I fell back with these guys. They did pass Battle Shock. And then the Land Raiders had scooched up so you could see. Shot into there. Killed a few of those Blood Crushers, but still left 1 in the character. And then he charged in here and picked up 2 of these Bloodletters. And that's
Look at that live action gaming. You see that Land Raider just moving.
Yeah. Using special stop motion technology. So that's it. Didn't score anything here on this turn. We're having a rough end of the game here. But that's it for me. On to DJ's last turn.
All right, for the World Eater's last turn, we still had area denial, and then we picked up no prisoners. So the whole goal of the game was just finish off that squad. We took the risk it for the biscuit, and we passed our battle shock. So we were able to use the strat to resurrect 1 of our blood crushers. Lane chose to Overwatch, no damage came in, and then we just charged. And simply on the mortal wounds alone there, we picked it up there and took them down. Draxus might have survived with 1 wound, but at that point, Lane was like, nah, we're good. Because even if once the Custodian guard went, Draxus was just going to get squished by the blood crushers. But just in case something went horribly wrong, we brought the jackals up to hold that objective. Jackals did really well. That 1 unit did really well this game. And then over here, this Land Raider of Vengeance, he attacked again. He took out 1. There's 1 little bloodletter left. But
I did 5 wounds, and DJ made 4 of his 4-up inbound.
He did some crushing damage this game. Yeah, especially to my blood crushers at the end. So that is going to be it. We did get these 2 objectives sticky, and then we're holding the center, and we're holding over here. So we did get good end game scoring for the turn. Final score, World Eaters 80 to a Custodes 49. So again, 80 to 49. Not much else to say there. Feels good. Feels good to move off of an old book into a newer book and have some newer abilities and stuff. Follow us over the post game. We'll talk about how a lot of the World Eaters, the Demonkin, the interactions, and Custodes, and how it all went down. So, all right, guys. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.